Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we'll learn how to work with LEDs and how to interface LEDs with Arduino and program it. So let's get started. First of all, we'll come to ukui.com. I have introduced this software in the introduction section. From the ukui.com, we will select first block, Arduino, Uno, Mega and Nano. From here, I will find the start from scratch section and I'll choose Arduino Uno. Here on the left hand side, we'll put the code and on the right hand side, we'll design our circuit. Before starting to program for Arduino, let me give you some basic idea about the bare function format of an Arduino program. In the Arduino program, it has two parts. The first part is called void setup, and you need to put the configuration statements here, like which pin is input, which pin is output, and initialization codes. You need to put this code or put these statements here in the void setup section. Void loop, it contains the operational statements, and these statements will run repeatedly until and unless you turn off the power supply or you do the reset or you stop the program by any means. So this void setup and void loop, these are the bare basic format of any Arduino program. This two section is a must. You need to put this two section in your code, and accordingly you need to organize your statements. So before going into the program, let me introduce some functions that we'll use in this program. The first one is pin mode. So pin mode is used for defining the mode of a pin, whether it's an input or it's an output. The syntax is we need to write pin mode first, then we need to give the pin number and define whether it's an input or output. The second function is digital write. If you want to put any digital values in the digital rail 0 to 13 number pin, that means if you want to give 5 volt or 0 volt or high or low volt, for that reason we'll use digital write. The syntax is first we will have to assign the pin number, which pin we want to give output for, and then we need to put high or low. High will give 5 volt, low will give 0 volt. We can also use 1 or 0 here. 1 for 5 volt, 0 for 0 volt. And another function we need to use for this program, and that is delay. It is used to make any pause in the program. The delay, it takes milliseconds as input. That means if you want to make a delay of 1 second, you will have to put 1000 milliseconds here. So I think you got the idea of these functions. Let's jump into the programming. So let's say we want to do a blinking effect of LED. So let's do that. We'll bring in an LED and the color would be red. Then we'll bring in a resistor. The resistor value will be 220 ohm. You can put also 330. Now we'll do the wiring. The anode side, we will connect it to the pin number 2. You can connect any of this pin from 0 to 13. So this is the simplest structure of connecting an LED. If you want to connect another LED, let's do that. I'll bring in another LED, and this LED will be blue color. I will connect the terminal with this resistance. The anode side we will connect to pin number 3. So now we have two LEDs. One is red connected to number pin 2 and the blue is connected to pin number 3. Both the cathode of these LEDs are connected with a resistor and bypass to the ground. So now if we want to program a code for this 2 LED lighting, let's do that. We have used 2 pin of Arduino, 2 and 3 as output pin. So we'll define that. To define a pin as input or output, we need to use a function called pin mode. So this pin mode, it will take the pin number first, and then you need to define whether it's an output or it's an input. Okay, we can copy this and put it here and edit this for pin number 3. So as both of these 2 and 3 pin are output, For that reason, we have used 2-pin mode separately for 2 and 3 pin. Now, let's say you want to give a 5-volt output here. So these digital pins provide digital outputs, and that means in these pins they can provide 5-volt for logic 1 and 0-volt for logic low or 0. So for that reason, if you want to make this pin 5-volt, which means high, or 1, you will have to use a function called digital write. So digital write means it will put 5-volt or 0-volt, high or low, at the assigned pin number. So first of all, the syntax of digital write, we need to put the pin number first, then whether it is high or low, we need to put that. So for pin number, let's say it's 2. The 2 number pin will go high after executing this code. Let's say we want to also make the other pin high, that is 3. So we write this in this way. Now, if you want to make a blinking effect, you can use a delay here. Delay means it will introduce a pause in the code. So delay, it takes milliseconds in the bracket. So if you want to make a half-second delay, you will have to put 500 here. Again, if you want to turn them off, let me copy them. Just put the high portion to low. That's it. So if you want to run the simulation, you just need to come here and press this button. Here you can see this both LEDs are turning on and off at the same time. If you want to adjust the blinking timing, you can change this delay here. Let's say you want to make a longer blink, that is 1000 millisecond or 1 second. For that, you can put 1000 here. Let us stop the simulation and run it again. Now the blink is going for 1 second pause for turning on and off. Now let's say, as the simulation was for both LED turning on and off at the same time, if you want to do an alternate blinking effect, what should you do? I hope you have already got the idea, and already maybe we have imagined what should be the changes in the program. Let me show you. The effect we want, when the red is turned on, the blue would be turned off. After the pause, the blue will turn on and red will turn off. So for that reason, we need to simply put this high to low for the patterns. When 2 number pin, that is a red LED, is turned on, we want to turn off the blue LED, and after the pause, we want to turn off the red LED but turn on the blue LED. So with this simple change, it will bring in an effect of alternate blinking. So let's see. You can see it's a very beautiful effect that we can use for different siren projects or ambulance lighting projects or police lighting projects. You can also increase the blinking rate. Let's say we want to bring in 200 milliseconds for the faster blinking rate. Let's run it again. So now we can see the effect is more or less similar to the police siren or the ambulance siren. In the next video, we'll do some more patterns and more effects with the LEDs. So see you then.